Ministry is hard, man. It's so hard, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Did you expect whenever this is Kent's first time on the podcast? She's a little terrified. Was it what you expected when you got here?
No.
Like, what did you expect when you got here? Like, because you grew up in this, Pastor Tony's daughter. Your whole life, this is all you've known is this ministry and this church and all the things in ministry. What did you think whenever you were coming on staff here?
I honestly had no idea how much work y'all did. Because, like, when we were hanging out, me and the kids, we just were hanging out, and y'all were just on the computer. We were like, they're just playing a game on the computer or something. waiting for ministry to happen. Like, how do you prepare for a Sunday? It just happens, right?
Yeah.
No, it does not.
It's so hard, isn't it?
So hard. Things change all the time.
Constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that you can't prepare for, stuff that you're trying your best to. We are preppers. Like, we prep and plan and try our best to get everything ready in every situation. And then there's stuff that you can't even prepare for, that you just walk into a situation and you're like, okay, let's make the best of this moment right here, doing this thing, whatever that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know ministry was this hard?
No. No, I also never thought that I would be doing ministry full time, so I feel like that I never thought about it. But then when I started here, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it would be. I mean, I didn't have an expectation of what I thought it would be, but there's so many random things I end up doing that I'm like, I would have never thought I would be doing this right now.
For sure.
So
during this, Samantha at least has this week. By next week, they may be sick of you because you've been on this podcast for the last month. But we are still right in the middle of Love Illuminated. Mm-hmm. By the time this podcast drops, we'll have just maybe 1 or 2 more days left in this month. Yep. And so let's kind of take a bird's eye view of the month. Let's kind of step back and say, okay, first off, successful. What did we learn? What is it that we're putting into motion for next year? What impact did this have on our church? Let's talk through bird's eye view we'll talk through some of the specific things that we've done, but let's talk bird's eye view first. Successful overall, what's your thoughts?
I think successful overall. I think being in the middle of it, it can feel like at times it can feel like, what are we even doing? At times, just because it gets hard. But bird's eye view, I think, yes, very impactful. Impactful
in the church,
the people that have come, the volunteers. Our people that have volunteered, the people in the community, I think, overall, yes, 100% want to do it again.
Had a pastor friend of mine send me a picture this morning. I guess he must have went through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A or something, and he sent me a picture, and it was like a gift card with a note, and it was like, I don't know, like, I forgot what the note actually said, but some sort of scripture or something like that on it. And he was like, man, you guys are awesome. Y'all certainly do things right in the community. And I was like, how cool is that? I guess we just sent a team out there this morning to Chick-fil-A and
we had
passed out gift cards.
6 people covering the doors for people coming inside. And then at the drive-thru, we found out drive-thru is much more active than inside and outside. So they kind of just rotated through. And then the people inside got to talk to the patrons that were there.
Awesome.
So,
super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. You did Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
You did the Dunkin' one that we got kicked out of.
Yes, I did that.
And then you did the Starbucks the week after because we had to change it up. How did Starbucks go?
Oh, so good. It was a little harder because of their drive-thru and everything, and like people getting their cars leaned on. But other than that, it was great.
Somebody got yelled at for leaning on somebody's car?
Somebody made some dirty looks at us, but it's okay. It's okay. They loved the gift card.
Good.
Yes.
Super cool.
And Kent was a rock star setting it up because Duncan failed, and Kent loves talking on the phone. Mm-hmm. So she was like, okay, I'm going to call Starbucks, and just hopped on the phone, and then it was an easy open door for us.
Yeah, she pulled my daughter Carson into it. Carson's not that person at all. No. Carson's a hard worker, but to go to, out and do something like that is out of her comfort zone, very much so. And you were like, all right, I'm picking you up at this time. You're coming with me to Starbucks, and she was ready and went with you. And
she said the second when we went to Starbucks, she was like, I almost was gonna pretend I was asleep, so I didn't have to go outside. I was like, I would have went inside, I think, to get you. I wasn't gonna go by myself.
And you did Miracle League.
Yes.
And thoughts on that?
It was so much fun. I've done Miracle League before. Like, I volunteered as a buddy in high school. A group of my friends did it, but it was super cool. We had a lot of people show up for it, which was great. So everyone was a buddy. We just got to talk to the kids, the players, just hang out with them. And it was a lot of fun. And then we went back the next week and passed out goodie bags to all the players as they walked in. It had like an invite card, I think, a little note, some snacks, a drink, candy, and stuff like that.
Super
but
cool.
it was, I want to do it like all the time now.
So, speaking of that, y'all both love Samantha.
Yes.
She's y'all's buddy.
Yeah.
Like, why are y'all not more active in like outreach opportunities here at the church?
Put him on the spot.
Like, why don't y'all go to like Angel Oak and hang out with the old folk there?
I did
Yeah,
that once.
It's a Friday. It's your day off. Yeah,
I
she
did it
had
once.
to go.
I had to
For MIP.
for MIP.
For MIP. I
I had
told her to go.
Speak. I think it was around like Thanksgiving or something like that.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because here goes, we talked about this last week, where
Mhm.
it's like sacred season, where everybody's praying and everybody loves to pray during sacred season, and then sacred season ends, and there's still a core group that shows up for prayer, but it's just different during sacred season. We get to these seasons where it's like, this is so amazing, and all we've heard the entire month is how amazing this is. So if Samantha does events like this, and I'm trying to think in my head, like, there are people out there like y'all, but y'all love Samantha. So if we did Miracle League more often, would you do Miracle League more often? Would that be like, I would commit to Miracle League? It was that amazing.
Absolutely.
So it's the events that she's doing that isn't drawing you in.
I think for me, I get like, even when I had to go to
You're like, I
Angel
didn't know
Oak-
this was a conversation we're having. I quit.
I think like even when I had to go to Angel Oak, it stressed me out. I don't like talking in front of people. I don't do well talking to adults. I mean, I do just fine. But
Yeah.
like, I think for me, Miracle League, it's hanging out with kids the whole
What's
time.
the age groups
and
there in Miracle League? Do you know?
I feel like it was 5, 6, all the way up through adult.
Adults. Yeah,
I mean,
there's adults.
they had some people there that came from like nursing home.
Gotcha. So you could just focus on kids, which is your wheelhouse. You could just focus on them and
Yeah, it's just like hanging out with them, running the bases, talking to them, having conversation. So I feel like that was like in my comfort zone. Not to say I wouldn't do things out of my
Sure.
comfort zone, but I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
which is one of the things I say in like leadership conversations where your gifts and your passions intersect. So you're
Mhm.
gifted in kids, you know, you're gifted in, let's say, teaching or interacting with kids. You're passionate about this group of people, so where they intersect. So if you can find an outreach event to where your giftings and your passions intersect, it feels less likely like or less stressful maybe to go to an event like that than it would feel to go to something that you love, you're passionate about, and you feel like you could crush.
Yeah.
But you can't.
If you did more give people things, short, sweet conversations, I'm really good at 5 seconds.
Yeah.
The staying for a whole hour, talking to one person for a whole hour.
Yikes.
Give me a 5-second conversation.
What even talk about for an hour?
I have no idea.
Who were you talking to for an hour?
I don't know.
I don't know anybody. I don't want to do it.
Right.
You can, you can just have little spurts of conversation.
I like when they come and leave.
Yeah.
They just came by and left.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
I made their day for a second.
like a parade,
yeah.
like
yeah.
a festival type.
Uh-huh.
They're in, they're out. Like you did good at Socastee Heritage Festival when we went.
Yeah.
People come and
Oh.
it might have been out of your comfort zone, but you did a great job.
I think I liked it whenever I wasn't face painting because face painting feels like work to me.
Yeah.
And whenever I go and volunteer, I want it to feel like a
so when you got a
connection,
time out
not
from that, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is cool.
Yeah, I loved talking to them as they passed by or handing them a Bible or something. Or like, spin the wheel, get something. I just want to make someone's day for a second,
Okay.
and then they leave me alone. Not leave me alone. But
So, Samantha, the things that you and I have talked about in the past is events that we do, that we have this core group that we know this group shows up to New Direction Women's Meal. We know this group of 4 or 6 or whatever, this is going to be who's there, who's going to help. We know this group's going to show up to Angel Oak or whatever the events are. Ministry's hard. So the stress of trying to start, because what Samantha's really good at is taking all of the stress on herself and not spreading any of that weight around to anyone else. thankfully she's got amazing people around her that help her and force her to give them things.
Yeah.
But Samantha's really good about taking everything and saying, I can do it all. So the ministry is hard. You only have so much life to give.
Mhm.
So the thought of starting up a miracle league, what would it take to say, I will put that in my portfolio of what we do here in ministry? What would it take for someone watching this to say, I'm passionate about this outreach? Y'all should do this outreach. What
Mhm.
would it take? It takes more than a leader. We need a leader.
We need a
But
leader,
it takes
yeah.
more than a leader. What would it take to what would somebody need to have that conversation with you, or to come to you with a conversation of, all right, I want to start an outreach event?
I think they have to be willing to walk through the steps that we have here at the church.
Okay.
Like they have to be willing to go through my
6-week course.
6-week
Yeah.
outreach course to learn and understand things that we've learned and understand.
Which in
how
that you're teaching them culture, you're teaching them
Teaching
policy,
culture,
you're
yeah.
teaching them some of just who we are, but also
Mhm.
how we operate inside of some of those settings.
Right.
So
right.
hey, I need you to go through this 6-week course.
Mhm.
I need you to be willing to either lead or have somebody that's going to lead this.
Yep.
What else?
Oh man. And I need to know that you're not passionate about it for 5 seconds. Like
Okay.
I need to know that you're in it for the long haul. I think sometimes people come and they're like, I really want to do this, and then they will start it, and then they're like, oh, maybe I didn't really want to
Yep.
do this, and they back out, which then means I pick it back up, which is okay for a moment, but like you said, I can't do everything.
Yep.
So
Because you don't want to let it die.
no.
You've already put our name attached to
Right.
this event,
Mhm.
and Miracle League knows we're going to bring, if you do that, we're committing 10 volunteers to bring
Right.
them to you, and they're planning on us being there with 10 volunteers. And if you get
Mhm.
passionate about it for 3 months, month 4, you don't show up, guess what? Samantha still has to do it
Yep.
because she's committed her life. This is what we're going to do. She's committed her word to say we're going to show up and we're
Yeah.
going to be there. And unfortunately, not everybody sees it that way.
Yeah. And that's why, like, a lot of times I look for people that are faithful. Like, people that just show up all the time to me. I'm like, okay, you're amazing because you're so faithful and you show up when you say you're going to show up. I mean, life happens. Life is messy.
Sure.
So
Sure, we get that.
I get that piece. But just to be like, I signed up for it, but I don't really feel like it today. I'm
Yeah.
like, I wish you just would.
Or call you the morning of whenever they're leading an event and go,
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to be able to make it. Why? I didn't sleep well last night. And you're like, neither did I. But I'll get up and go,
Yeah.
and you step in because, again, our church, I won't say reputation, but I guess I probably would say reputation.
Yeah.
Our church reputation is on the line.
Yeah.
We said we're going to show up, so we're going to show
gonna
up.
show up.
And sometimes it has been just you out there
Mhm.
showing up for events.
Yeah.
Um,
And I usually have to. Our rule is like we go 2 by 2 for accountability for
For
us,
sure.
for safety, for whatever. So then I'm dragging Dan along with me at
Poor
times.
Dan.
Bless him. So thankful that he's like, okay, I understand. Like I understand this is the rule, and like I'm not going golfing today.
Yeah.
I got to come with you. But yeah.
So what's some of the things that you've heard people want to start or people want to do?
Single dads ministry.
Yeah.
And had that conversation of, okay, like here's your next step. And then never heard anything back.
For sure.
Um,
Mr. Dave Jackman, did we ever start that with his?
we are trying to get it started.
Yeah.
So he's,
Anything in life is hard to start,
yes, it is hard to start.
especially in ministry. Because even if you have one person that's passionate about something, you still got to sell that vision. And I don't mean sell
Yes.
it financially. Like, you've got to get people on board with
Mhm.
the vision to make them believe in what you're doing enough to want to press forward and partner with you in that. So if
Yeah.
he's going over to, change light bulbs for a single mom, or to, to change her air filters, or whatever the case may be, you got to have a few other people that are interested
Yes.
in being a part of that and
Mhm.
helping out with that.
Yeah. It's almost like we're in this place to where, okay, we might have enough people to be able to put it out for the community.
Mhm.
So yeah, excited to get that started. I just did a little video clip of him the other day, just explaining what it is. He's done this for a long time. I forget what his job was, but like carpentry or something of that nature.
He was an architect, I think, at one point.
And so he's got all this knowledge and loves to share the gospel, and is almost training us up on how to talk to people, how to approach people, how to share your testimony in a way that people will be open to receive it, so that when you go to someone in the community, if it's not somebody in our church, then you can witness to them while you are changing their light bulb or fixing their toilet or whatever.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Haley started preschool here. Like that is something that she birthed. And it's taken 3 years of preschool. It took 2 years before we ever went like to a full-time schedule. And then year 3 before we ever are at a place to where, you know, next year looks like we're going to be pretty healthy going into a preschool year. But it took year 1. She was at that point my assistant and doing preschool. Year 2, she was solely focused on preschool. Still 3 days a week then, right? Or year 2 is that when we went? I can't remember. Anyways,
last year we started year 2. I think we started
3 days a week. Yes, 5 days a week. So then, and then this year, you know, we've brought on another teacher. We've done some things different, but it's a slow grind to start anything in ministry.
Yeah.
And especially in the reaching the community, because we don't ever want to tell. You know, it's kind of like whenever somebody gave us. So they gave us a lump sum of money and said, I want to use this. I was a single mom. I want to use this to impact single moms. And so we were trying to figure out what could we do to where it's impactful, but not something that is expected going forward, because this is a lump sum that we only have one time. So we didn't want to start something that we couldn't fulfill long term. And so I think that's a lot of things with that outreach mindset, is that there's things that we can start a lot of things, man. We could do a lot of things. But we want to be able to do them long term. We love partnerships with people. We love being, you know, they're connected with them, and when we walk in, they know our names. We know their names. We love those sorts of connections, and you know, it's hard. That's hard.
This year we started bringing the women's shelter to church.
Yep.
And some weeks we have some ladies, and other weeks we have no one that shows up. And so it's just constantly speaking encouragement into people, and it's okay. Like, we're going to show up because we said we're going to show up.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. There's a mom and daughter right now that are faithful, but just so happen to be sick. So I'm like, we're going for them. Like, we are going for them because they want to come to church. And we said we're going to show up, so we're going to show up. And it's just getting that encouragement and going, it's okay. Like, this is part of the process. This is part of it.
Mark LaChapelle one time told me, he was talking about a recovery group that he was, maybe not recovery, something of that vein that he was doing. And he said, I show up. If nobody shows up, it doesn't matter. I show up because I want them to know when they need me, I'm there.
Yeah.
And so he would show up to this group that he was having, and week after week, nobody would show up. And I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry nobody's showing up. And he was like, oh, you don't understand. This is what I do. I show up because there's going to come a week where they need me.
Yeah.
And they know I'm there when they need me. That's a different mindset. That takes a unique person to be able to have that sort of resolve in their heart to say, this is what I'm going to do no matter what.
Yeah. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Starting things is hard. Difficult, challenging, right? Like starting a comeback for the Carolina Hurricanes. We've started it.
We started it.
Slow and steady.
How did you get into hockey?
I have no idea. I looked over at Eric one day, and I said, you ever been to a hockey game? He said, no.
Was Carson into hockey before you got into hockey?
It was about the same time.
Gotcha. So y'all just said, oh, it's...
Because we were always with
It's
Holly
hot outside.
And Jarrett.
You were like, it's hot outside. Let's pick a cold sport and like it. How long did it take you to figure out the rules of hockey?
I think I'm still trying to figure out the rules of
understood.
hockey. I think I got most of it down. There's just still a few things that I'm like, I'll cheer for it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what
and
it
then
means.
Carson's
but
like, no, it's not a good thing.
yeah. It's fine.
It's good. It's fine. It's
I understand
okay.
most of it. I feel like to the point where I can enjoy it. And like when something happens, I know, oh, okay, I know why that happened now.
Yeah. I have a guy who is interested in, speaking of hockey, interested in some sort of sports outreach.
Okay.
So somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm interested in sports outreach." What comes to your mind?
Oh gosh.
What are the things that start flowing around of, "Hey, here's some ideas of some things that we can get connected." Obviously, there's Miracle League. That's a unique group because not only the needs that they have, but it's kids. So you need
Right.
people who like kids.
Mhm.
It's it's their families are there, and so you have to. It's not just people who are sports people. Oftentimes are very intense, and
Yes.
hey, we don't need you to be intense. We need you to be polite and kind of
Mhm.
whatever. So
I think
somebody
it
comes
just
to you and says, "Hey, I'm interested in launching some sort of rec program." What would you say?
I think I would just need more information, like the route that they would want to go. Like if they wanted to start like a Palmetto Pointe Church rec team, or something like that. Or I mean, right now we have rec teams that play, in church leagues. So, but yeah, it just depends on what really their vision is.
Mhm.
Like sometimes people say things, and I have to dig deeper because I'm like, well, what do you really mean?
What
by
if a
that?
business came to you and said, "Here goes $10,000.
Oh,
Tell me
gosh.
what you need, and I want to bless your life. Tell me what you need. I have a $10,000 check here for you. Tell me what
Oh,
Samantha
gosh.
needs and how I could bless her ministry."
I was not prepared for this.
You want us to talk about hockey some more?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go sports. I don't know, Pastor. I don't know. In this moment, I don't know. It takes me a little while to really think through these
Understood.
deeper questions.
Understood. But somebody walks in right now and they say, "Hey, I got $10,000. I'm trying my best to give it away to somebody. Tell me what you need it, or I'm going to the church across the road and I'm going to give it to them. What do you need $10,000 for?" What would you say?
I would say
Samantha's like, "I'm not crying today." Now she's like, "I don't know if I cry. I don't know."
these are not good questions for me.
So
You're doing great.
So, I always try to push people for vision.
Yes.
Because somebody was like, "Yes, I know." Because for me, those moments are going to happen.
Mhm.
Somebody's going to watch this podcast and they're going to look at you. They're going to look at Samantha and say, "How do I get in touch with her?" Samantha at PalmettoPointeChurch.com.
Mhm.
And they're going to send you an email and they're going to say, "Hey, this may be 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now." They're going to find this podcast talking about Love Illuminated, and they're going to say, "I love that y'all did that, that month inside of the community. I have a grandma that died, and she wanted to make sure I gave $10,000 away to a church that they could help the community. And tell me what your vision is so that I can write this check to you." That day is coming, and people
means
are going
I need
to
to
look.
start.
People are going to look at what you're doing
Mhm.
inside of our church and through the community. And because Samantha, our church in general, we try our best to be very good stewards of everything that God has given to us. And we try our best. We kind of thrive on being cheap at times.
Mhm.
And so we do everything we can for low budgets or no budgets. And so it's hard to think about having a lump sum given to you.
Yeah.
But I would say somebody watching this is going to email Samantha at PalmettoPointeChurch.com, and they're going to say, "I got $10,000.
Mhm.
What do you want to do with it?" And
And I'm gonna have an answer.
you better be ready for an answer for them.
I will have an answer for them.
Because people love, I was talking with Bryson Grizzle this morning. People love seeing their money go to
Yeah.
impactful things.
Mhm.
And you are one of those things that's making a huge impact, and people are seeing it and they're excited about it, and they want to partner with our church because of some of the things that you're able to do.
Yeah.
So expanding that vision and seeing more than just this moment that we're in is something that I would challenge you to do.
Yeah. There's things that come to mind, but then I also think realistically, I'm like, what does $10,000 even get me in real life? You know what I mean? Like, depending on what I would want to do with it. Like, what is that? I don't know. I have to think through all of those things.
Yeah, I get it. Listen, if Samantha can't answer the question, I can. So feel free to, if Samantha doesn't answer you, feel free to hit me up.
I will answer you. I'll answer you.
I got plenty of things I can do with it. Don't you dare worry about that. I got lots of stuff.
Yeah. I just know once it comes out, there's no pulling
No pulling it back in. Words
There's-
matter.
They do. So that's what I feel like. That's another reason why it's hard to answer in this setting on camera in a podcast.
Nobody's watching. Nobody's in here. Nobody cares. Nobody watching this.
Right.
Yes, they are.
We're 30 minutes into the podcast. Nobody's getting this far in this podcast.
Yes, they do. They tell me every week. Jeff Totten was like, Samantha, you were crying a lot in that podcast.
You're like, no,
I
it
was like,
wasn't.
"Ugh."
You cry a lot?
Yes.
Do you cry a lot?
Oh yeah.
Why?
I'm an emotional person. Sensitive.
Why do you cry?
I don't know. I think that's just how I express any emotion. Like, I'll cry when I'm tired,
Frustrated.
mad, sad. It don't matter. I'm a cry.
You
But I
are a
own
crier.
it. You know what I mean? I'll own it. Like, I'm
I don't
probably
wanna
going to
do
cry.
it.
It don't take much to make me cry, so.
Maddie was like, you need Kent Kent's amazing. Listen, Kent's incredible. She's like, you need Kent to help you do some stuff, XYZ. So I was using Kent, and I was like, Maddie, I am so afraid. I make her cry all the time. I am so afraid I'm going to break her. Maddie's like, yeah, you probably are.
No.
No.
No, I'll tell you. I'll be like, too much.
So do you cry at spiritual moments too?
Mhm.
Or just emotional moments?
Anything.
Anything. You just Does Eric know you cry a lot?
Oh yeah.
Or do you hide that from him?
Oh no, we watched a movie, Instant Family, about adoption. Cried the whole time.
Are you interested in adoption?
I don't want to talk about this right now.
Why?
Because of all the talks that are going on around the office.
We do have 2 babies in queue right now.
2?
2?
2 now.
I
There
told
was
Eric
one last
about
time
it.
we talked.
That's so cool.
2 babies in queue.
Yeah.
Wow.
So adoption, I think.
We talked about it. I said, maybe. Maybe.
Okay. You've lived out adoption
Mhm.
with your brothers,
Mhm.
Eli and Evan. You know, so you've seen firsthand the good, the bad, and the ugly with that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you're interested. That's neat.
Mhm.
I love it.
I've always been interested. It was trying to get Eric on board. He was like, I really want my own kids. And I was like, we can adopt and have
Right, it doesn't have
kids.
to be either
It's
or.
not
Yeah,
both.
it's not either or.
Right.
Yeah, but ever since the boys, I've been interested in adoption.
It's awesome.
Mhm.
But you?
Interested in adoption?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think we live in a 1-bedroom apartment right now, so I feel like, I mean, listen.
Carson, her husband was throwing his name in the hat. He was ready. And Haley's like, we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. We can't take a baby.
I mean,
And
like,
he was like, the Lord will work it out, Haley.
I mean, I agree. If it's meant for us to adopt in where we're at right now, it'll happen. And obviously, if it's like God's placed it on my heart for a reason, I can't say no. So like, just in this moment right now, I don't feel that like it's
right.
what
time.
we're supposed
Yeah.
to be doing right now.
Yeah, Rachel came to me and she's like, just so you know, I know there's a lot of adoption talk. I don't think it's me.
I don't feel the tug.
I totally get it, Rachel. Totally get it.
I think we should just pass it around.
Yeah,
We
a
just all
PPC
take we
staff
just
baby.
all
Man.
take care of that baby.
Eric said, I don't know if that works legally.
I don't
I was
know.
like, I know
We'll
somebody's
figure it
gonna have to
out.
take
We could do it.
Somebody needs to be the legal
parents.
guardian of that thing.
We all sign them. We just all sign it.
Send a permission slip home from school and it's got like 27
12.
lines on it. Everybody got to sign it. Hardest part of ministry, outside looking in, people don't understand what's going on in ministry. Hardest part of ministry to you is what? The hardest part of ministry, whatever, again, nobody knows what you go through. So if somebody was to say to you, what's the hardest part of ministry, what would you say?
I don't know if this counts or makes sense, but what came to my mind is that accessibility, like we're constantly accessible
No doubt.
through text and call and
No
Facebook
doubt.
Messenger and Instagram and whatever else, the church email and the Facebook posts that we put out, and people not understanding that like I got a list.
Mhm.
I got a list, and your thing is not the highest on my list right now, but I'm coming back to you.
Yeah.
But it's hard in this time because everybody always has this on them all the time, so they just think you should be available all the time for everything and anything. And I'm like, I've worked really hard the last however many years I've been on staff to make some healthy boundaries
Yeah.
and let those people know, like, I see you, I hear you, I'm coming
Yeah,
to you.
and like for you specifically, you have it coming from multiple sides. So you have a small group
Mm-hmm.
that they're constantly reaching out to. Not in a bad way,
No,
but
not in a
I'm
bad
saying
way.
none of this is in a bad way.
Mm-mm.
But just people feel like this is a open line of communication. You have a small group, you have ministry teams that you lead,
Mm-hmm.
you have worship team stuff that you do, you have staff stuff that you do. So you have a lot of people from a lot of different avenues that
Mhm.
they're thinking, I'm texting you this morning, not thinking, oh, Samantha's probably had to deal with her, small group and her ministry thing, and they got a thing going to Chick-fil-A today. But hey, Samantha, don't forget to do this or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm not even thinking about all the other avenues that you have,
No.
coming into you. And so, yeah, totally get it. Accessibility is something in ministry that no one will understand unless you're in ministry.
Yeah.
What
Mhm.
else? Most difficult, hardest thing about ministry to you?
I was gonna let Kent go first.
No,
but
I
she's
was
looking at
really
me like she wants me to
thinking
go
you got
first.
it.
Whoever.
I think part of I don't know. The first thing that I thought of was like not accessibility, but always like trying to be there for your people. And I take it like if someone reaches out to me with like, hey, I'm struggling with this, can you pray for me or whatever? I take that so like personal.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do this. And I think that's like I know you probably feel that
Mm-hmm.
so much more than on the level
Yeah.
that I do, but like I take everything so and I think that's why I cry a lot too. Like
Yeah.
for other people, if you start crying, I'm gonna cry with you. Like I
Yeah.
got this. So I think doing that. And one thing you said when we had that staff week where we were in the auditorium, I wrote it down. You said one like to us it's just one missed text, but to them it's we don't care about them or
Mhm.
they're not
Yeah.
important enough. And I'm like, I hope I never make someone feel like that. But then there's also the fact of you do have so many people reaching out to you and it can be so tricky to keep up. And like,
Yeah. How to balance all that.
yeah, but also setting a boundary for yourself. Like after this time, if you text me, unless it's an emergency, I'm not going to answer because
Yeah.
then you answer that one time after that. And then
Yeah.
they think, oh,
And
I
then-
can text you at any time.
1000%.
So-
I've got my husband at home. Like he
Right.
needs my attention now.
1000%.
I've given my attention to ministry, and now Dan needs my attention.
1000%. And people don't understand that.
Yeah.
Somebody will watch this and say, I cannot believe they're not answering. Somebody texted me last night at 11 o'clock, and somebody texted me this morning at 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, they expect I sleep from 11:15 after that text till 4:45. That's where they expect me to sleep. True story.
Yeah.
And people watching this will say, I can't believe y'all aren't more accessible, or I can't believe you would be frustrated about people. We're not frustrated.
I'm not frustrated.
No.
We love people.
Yes.
Yeah.
We carry their burdens with us. It breaks our heart whenever they are heartbroken. But we also have to figure out how to draw healthy boundaries to keep our life sane, which is the reason why a lot of people, man, go Google stats of people quitting ministry. It will blow your mind because people are unable to draw healthy boundaries and keep life not separate from ministry, but life healthy inside of ministry, because there is no separation what we do.
No.
You're right.
No.
We this is what we do. This is our life. Ministry is our life. But how do we stay healthy in things like recreation and things like our spouses and those sorts of things? How do we stay healthy in those bubbles? Is an interesting dynamic we got to figure out.
Yeah.
Kent, what about you? Hardest part of ministry?
Being in so many parts of the ministry, like being an admin to 3 different people, serving on 2 different teams. I feel like I'm on all of their teams at one time. On a Sunday, who do I go to? I'm already serving social media, but the online team needs me. Miss Maddie needs me to print some stuff. Pastor Simeon needs me to get something.
Yep.
People get baptized. Help Rachel.
Yep. So interesting. Definitely pulled in many directions.
I love it.
That was not very convincing.
Oh, no, I love it.
Right.
I love it.
It is. It
But
is
it
like
is hard.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
hard.
yeah. It is. It's Kent. It's who she is.
Yeah.
She loves all the things, but
All the things. I want to be busy all the time.
busy all the time. Yeah. Which is awesome, but also to keep her busy all the time, you have to have a few different people throwing things at her, which makes her feel stretched.
Sometimes.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Ministry's hard, man. Ministry's hard.
Mhm.
And I say that again. I don't want people. I get messages of people say, "Oh man, you're doing that Ministry Hard podcast. Tell people how miserable ministry is, and you okay? Everything okay with you?" And I'm like, I'm not doing this because I want people to feel bad for us.
No.
What we do is amazing.
Love it.
We went to the escape room today as a
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah.
We've had a great staff Olympics week. We've had a lot of fun. But the flip side of it is ministry's hard, and it's not harder than digging a hole with a shovel all day long. It's not harder than that. It's not harder than a doctor saving somebody's life. It's completely different than both of those paths, but it is hard in a sense that nobody ever will understand what you go through on a daily basis or a weekly basis. And especially in the realm of, let's talk about outreach, especially in this circle where they all want to celebrate you for doing great things in the community, but may not want to be in the community doing great things. They want to champion what you were able to do without actually doing. And then they want to question why you weren't doing certain things.
Yes.
Why didn't you show up to this? Why is nobody partnering with this ministry? Why are we? And there's only so much of us, you, to go around. And so yeah, ministry's hard because there's so many good things to get involved with. I remember when Helping Hand, I think they're in a much better place now, but I remember when Helping Hand, wasn't it Helping Hand? What was the one that they weren't able to make food? They were helping Meals on Wheels?
Meals on Wheels.
I remember when Meals on Wheels went through that thing, and everybody was reaching out to us going, help them. And we're like, okay, what can we do?
Yeah.
We offered our facilities. We tried to help with a few things, but it's one of those things where everybody has a plan for us. Here's what you should do.
Yeah.
Here's Samantha. If we had to build ChatGPT, build a plan for outreach for the community, here's what you should do. But finding the time, the energy, the volunteers, the heart behind the volunteers to say, oh, I'd love to do that one. That one, I'm not interested in doing that one, you know. But finding the people who are interested in those things. A lot of things go into, yes, let's just support this thing or this event or this ministry, whatever it may be. So ministry's hard. It is totally worth it, totally amazing. And I'm thankful that all three of y'all are a part of it with me. But it's hard. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, Love Illuminated ending. We may never come back to this moment. I mean, next year we'll come back, but we may not do another podcast. What do you want to tell the people that have served over the last month with you?
I'm not a words person, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being uncomfortable. Thank you for giving of your time, whether it was behind the scenes, packing things or putting things together, or whether you were out there in the community. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your prayers if you couldn't be a part of it. Thank you for your financial help. Sacred Season, you guys poured into this. You believed in this. You were the ones that just got this going. And so thank you. Thank you for believing in this and believing in outreach and that what we do is important.
Yeah, agree totally. Agree. Thank y'all. Y'all are awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you.
Podcast number 1 wasn't terrible, was it, Kent?
Let's go Canes.
We can't touch.
Oh,
No.
let's go Canes. You know, like
We can't touch.
by the time this comes out, they may not even be in the playoffs anymore.
Oh.
Yikes.
Lord.
Love y'all. Peace.
Yay, sports.
Let's go. Yay, sports.